Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Dixie Rick's Adventures. And today we are visiting the ancestral Puebloans petroglyphs and their storages where they would store water and food, seeds for long periods of time. I'll take you right around here and show you. There's not much left. It was excavated and they found pottery. There's not much living quarters here, just mainly storage. I don't know if you can see the rock outline. And they dug it up and then buried it back up. Basically the holes were dug and the walls were lined with stone and like cement that they made from the mud to keep all the little critters out. And there's probably some kind of a wooden lattice top with stone on it or something, you know, obviously to keep them out of the top. So anyways, we're gonna head up here to the what's called the light dagger show. Really epic. There's a bunch of different panels I'll be able to tell you about, and maybe there'll even be a shaman or a storyteller here to give us some more insight, because every time I'm here I actually learn more and more. So it's really cool to be able to know what you're looking at, and kind of some of them, you know, which tribes were here, which bands were here. They left their own signatures, and the way you can tell is by what the petroglyph looks like. And we'll get into that in just a little bit. Just gotta walk up this hill and we'll be there. First couple petroglyphs we'll go over here and look at. You know, these are Summer Solstice petroglyphs. For one, the snake's head is out of the coil, coming out, just like in summertime when they're out and about. But not only that, the natives believed in equal balance, so the equinox spots, the petroglyph sites, are down along the river where it's all nice and mellow. And then up here, summer and winter spots are, you know, those weather conditions are harsh, so these sites are up on the cliffs where it's gnarly. Well, the light show should be starting soon, so we'll head on down to the cliff line, see some amazing stuff. Oh, looks like I gotta jump down. Go over here first. This is where the first light dagger shows up on what they call the Birdman Shaman.
Kind of hitting his hand. Oh, it is, yeah. And if you do time delay photography, as the light moves up, if you just fast forward, it looks like a snake moving up the stone. Which is really cool.
I think I've seen a time lapse online.
It's actually moving up faster. Some people have a gift, I think, interpreting or understanding this. I don't think I have it. I just parrot whatever other people say. But it's fascinating. It's kind of like code breaking.
You need to be careful where you're standing, because if you stand in the wrong spot, you block the light.
Hi, Pat.
Everyone seems to have their own theory on these.
Yeah.
I know there's supposedly some more official stuff going around, but who knows?
I mean, look at you. No, you're all good.
So have any of you seen this before? Okay, so do you know that when this light disappears in his hand, a light immediately appears over on that panel? And
The fertility panel?
Hmm?
Which one? The fertility panel?
it's the baptismal panel over here. So
Oh,
when
baby.
it'll disappear in about 3 minutes. When it disappears, it appears over there, and then for my mind's not working this morning. About 12 minutes, nothing happens over here, and then a second light will appear on the club foot, and it will move across his body, and it will form a shape like this. To Native Americans, that's a spirit shape. That spirit stay there. At the same time it's on this figure, it's on the exact same figure over on the baptismal panel. Okay. That will it'll move up and disappear. A third light will appear on the left foot. It will move across until it comes up. We have a rattle down here. We have a time coil here and the head of the serpent here. And that light will undulate until it centers. You now have a flying fiery serpent, and it will undulate up and disappear in the constellation at the top. Okay. So enjoy.
So should it be on the panel now?
Pardon?
Oh, so as soon as this piece complete, it's on that.
And then it comes
The tree. So that's not a tree, that's actually a wing of the flyer serpent draped over the people.
Thank you. 4 years
So
ago,
over
the first
there,
time
see
I
the
saw
light
this,
going through.
it was a guy filming and he had cameras and like, trying to see what
Alright, so here is the shaman seat. The light dagger started right at the top of this rock, really small. And then you can see it into a point right there. So I'm going to sit here with it in my face. And since it's the third day, the light actually started a little off to the side. It usually starts on that little image above him.
Did you say they hit the same figure? This one?
Go up on this rock, you can see that we got one, two. And there's second and horizontal ledge as well.
On this rock?
These are probably the most impressive petroglyphs.
So you guys see the little light right there? The little triangle? It usually starts right there where that triangle is. It's a little bit off today, being the third day.
Or maybe, oh,
Did she say they hit the same guy at the same time?
You want to tell us what you know about this one?
I think that there are many theories.
Yeah, let's hear them.
So, one interpretation makes this the baptismal panel where Christ was baptized, and this is the Jordan River. But then,
Oh yeah, that's the...
I mean, that's one thing. They have feet, so they're terrestrial, or residents of this earth. There's another guy there who's kind of floating. He has no
Yeah.
feet, and that's kind of a spirit. And it's kind of the story of the Garden of Eden and Lucifer tempting them, whatnot. And to me, this is more like Adam and Eve and Abel and them living here on earth, and there's a serpent underneath there too.
And
So-
here.
And yeah, I mean that could be interpreted as a serpent or the waters that kind of watered the
Yeah,
Garden
if
of
it's a
Eden.
baptismal, I think that's a river.
Yeah, but if it's not a baptismal and it represents Adam and Eve, then there was water going out of the Garden of Eden too. And if that's the serpent, and I don't know.
Mhm,
So
that's
I
neat.
mean, there are all kinds of. And then I don't know about that shape there, but those little triangles,
Yeah.
one that has a circle, those could be peoples as well. And then I don't know that it looks like a boat with a sail. The sail part, I mean, that's divided into specific areas as well. So I don't know what the geography of that means. And then you have that repeated pattern, or at least the triangle with the circle up,
Mhm.
above as well. I don't know what that is.
So anybody else have anything they know about this one?
And there's another guy that evidently has some kind of power. He also is in spirit
In the world?
existence. He doesn't have any feet.
Well, it's interesting. He has hands but no feet, whereas
Yeah.
that one has neither hands or feet.
Yeah. He's kind of a lower being.
He kind of looks like his face is more. I don't know. Maybe I can't see it.
Little
guy, Right, but it looks like there's
a bee hut.
More
He's also up there.
etchings
Yeah,
in his face.
the headdress.
Yeah. Yeah, he does have a head.
So the Native American interpretation is that this here is a headdress, like on that guy, and up there is a representation of this headdress. And if you notice, there's one circle that's open and one circle that's closed, representing a portal. Open, a door open, and one closed. And then here, yeah, you got this guy and his wife with the pregnant belly and the umbilical cord coming down to the baby.
Oh, that's the baby you're talking
Oh, it is
the
like
big
attached.
Yeah, it's all attached, and it's all, it's, as the light comes across, it's gonna like encompass everything, and it'll touch. The light usually always touches exactly where they're connected first as it travels across. Yeah, that's all they told me. Yeah, that's the baby. And then this is the sky serpent, which would take their prayers to the skies.
There is such a thing.
And then you're saying baptism. I mean, that looks like a tub right there with someone in it.
Good. Yeah.
So that lady told the whole biblical version one day. So I've listened to the Native Americans for quite a few trips up here, and then got to hear her version of it, like where I say that the bear claw rips across the thing. Well, it actually shows up like that, like the hand of God. And she pointed that out before it turns to a claw. And that's the resurrection panel. And this one was always told to me as the fertility panel.
They also call it the baptismal panel because I think that sign above the head of the male
Yeah.
is kind of like the dove, but it's, well, yeah, what do I know?
Yeah, so everything she said correlated with exactly what the Native Americans put on the rocks, but in a biblical fashion. It was really weird.
Yeah, she really seems to know her stuff.
Yeah.
She said she was doing research, you know.
All of my neighbors live is right there. They're still, they have little pockets of gardens there.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
love
very
Santa
lucky.
Clara.
Yeah, that little like historical.
It's coming right out.
Let's go take it. Let's go take a look.
The shaman, and it's coming up, so he's getting the power. The light comes and circles him. It has the power in his right hand. It's going to move to the fist. The shaman.
There you go. I need a picture here.
On
No,
YouTube without them.
put it on the.
Tu sais quand est-ce qu'ils ont été faits?
Judah and then Jews, and then when they come together, Ephraim is a little tiny sheep over there. That comes in because. Wait a minute. This is off just a tiny bit, and I don't usually on the 21st. It's right on. It's off a little. See, now it's starting to hit the serpent.
The spiral serpent, yeah. Longest day of light. And when you go to these equinox ones and you see the spirals and the sun goes over, it'll only illuminate half of it.
Yep, it's only on the solstice.
Oh,
You have a summer and a winter solstice, and so that's usually when this is when they take place. Well, you know when they were written is because of when they start interacting.
there it goes.
So the power now comes into the whole time coil, right?
There it is, the sun encompassing the snake, with just a little bit of shadow representing the longest day of the year. with just a little bit of night as it heads on up to the Thunderbird,
It's gonna move out. Right.
which would take their prayers to the skies.
Oh, okay, so yeah, it's straight from Switzerland to here.
Yeah.
This is the Bear Claw tribe panel with the petroglyph of the death mask. Back to the fertility panel. Well, now this figure is completely illuminated. It'll come across over to her. She's pregnant. Just had a baby. There's the umbilical cord. And sky serpent. And this is a headdress. And there's the reinterpretation of the headdress. One circle's open, one circle's closed, representing portals. One portal's open, one's closed. And there is actual headdress on the guy. Well, I hope you're enjoying this. Got a little bit more time, and we'll watch the bear claw and watch the claw rip across the rock. It'll be epic. All right, here's another panel.
Yes.
Last summer.
Yeah. Hopefully not the last.
No, we'll make it through. We survived once.
So here on the bear claw tribe panel, his feet are bowed in like a bear.
Because he wasn't on this continent.
He's got the death mask.
The main part.
And the light's hitting his heel first.
Yeah. We survived in between.
And
Right in
pretty
there.
soon,
Yeah.
this claw
I was reading
of shadow will
something
rip
there's
across the rock.
tube there. This-
All kinds of perks.
They let you chill for the rest of your life. Except if they have to call you.
Yeah,
It's not up to the money that you have to your grades.
So now it kind of looks like that hand. You know, there's the thumb and the fingers.
But no, he has good grades, so he doesn't know what he wants to do in life. Good, you can go, but if you don't, then you're out.
You guys married or yet? Or no?
No.
Just dating? Just dating?
I guess it was impossible
Cool.
bad enough in high school to have specialized skills.
Oh yeah.
For a career to have a university.
Yeah, it's not really important. I feel like it depends on what you want to do. But then, if you want to go into like
There it goes. Now it's
again like
starting to become a claw.
social stuff, you have the University of Toulouse and the University of Zurich. Walmart is so cool. And you hear people like,
Well, yeah, it is kind of weird. I've lived here a while. And you feel that, like, we're visiting St. George to talk about something. I'm like, okay. Because you're just kind of used to it. But there's like a sense of novelty there for other people. I tried to do it. Yeah, it's like the first thing. And it's like, when you think about it, it's like.
All right, back over to the fertility panel now. The sun is about to touch her from his hand to her hand.
Yeah, here's a map. Puts you on the coast where they built all the big mansions that no one lives in anymore. So it's this entire coast, and it's huge.
So sick.
It's just falling apart.
Well, I hope you guys are enjoying this.
And nobody will be like, if you say, oh no, it's too expensive. Oh, okay, well, I'll do that. Yeah. But here it's like, okay, what if I give you 50 cash right now? Well, that's only half the. Have a good day.
All right, you guys too. All right, so the story I've been told about these are that these box shapes represent the place where they lived. And that one is a little older than this one. And so if you notice, their feet are straight down and their toes are planted. Represents that they were planted here for a long time. And if you look at the horns, they've got little horns, not the big male ones. So these represent it was ran by a female. So all the final decisions were made by a woman. And the story is this little coyote down here in the corner represents like a shiesty guy who they couldn't really trust. But he came and he warned the people about droughts. And they said, well, we've got all this storage up here. We're good for droughts. We're prepared. About a 30-year drought hit, and you know, they did live it out. But then a 50-year drought hit around that 1100 AD, when they say that the ancestral plebeians disappeared. Well, they most likely ran out of storage, food, water, seeds, all that stuff. And the Santa Clara River probably dried up, because if there's no snow on Pine Valley Mountain, there's no water coming down. They most likely just left mostly everything and headed north to find water, food. And eventually they came back, I don't know, about 50 years, 100 years later after the drought, and were the Paiutes, the Fremont, and like Hopi, probably Navajo. And they started all kinds of bands down here along the Santa Clara River. The Shivwitz Band and Toniquint. And there's probably a bunch more. I just don't know. But yeah, it's kind of the story here in these figures of like souls or something, spirits going up into the sky. Not sure. But yeah, this is a really neat panel. Just wanted to show you it. And we'll get back over to the bear claw ripping across the rock. Okay, claws ripped across the rock. And I'm pretty much got to be finished up here. Hope you enjoyed the show. And there's much more to come. I'm going to film a couple more petroglyphs on the way down. Okay. Well, it's been fun, but I was supposed to be to work hours ago in Cedar City. So, yeah, got to go up there and sell some beer. There's one more. They're probably all over here. I'm gonna walk down. Let's get a couple of good pictures of this here. You can Get an idea here from the sign.